Hello dear students. Today we are going to do 13th part of the lecture series. As you all know, we are doing chapter number 9, ray optics. In the last lecture we studied about compound microscope. We are doing optical instruments these days. Today we are going to do telescope. This is going to be last topic of the chapter. Theoretically we complete this chapter today only. Then after 2 days some selected NCERT numericals will do. Then after the next chapter will be started. Let us start. First of all, what is telescope? You must have seen this picture. You may have seen this thing in movies or in TV, or maybe if you are lucky enough, then you have used this also. This is what a telescope is. If you have not used this one, then definitely in your childhood you have used this one, binoculars. Basically, binoculars is also a kind of telescope only. So telescope is something which enables us to look at the objects which are very distant from us. Okay, telescope is something which enables us to look at the object which are very distant from us. Okay, sometimes we observe the things which are in the space. We observe stars, we observe planets, we observe satellites. So those kind of telescopes are called astronomical telescope. So this much distant objects, what I was about to give you, what I was wanted to give you is the idea of telescope. That telescope, with the help of telescope, we observe the things which are at this much distant, a star, a planet, or a satellite. So what is a telescope if we define? The telescope is an optical device which is used to view distant objects clearly. It does not provide linear magnification, it provides angular magnification. It is a very important point because the objects which are there, which are very far away from us, they are already very big in size. But when we see them without any optical device, then they subtend a very small angle to our eyes. While using the telescope, what happens? The angle subtended by the image formed by the telescope is greater than the angle subtended by the object. So basically, telescope provides the angular magnification, not linear magnification. The size of the image will be very less than the size of the object. But since the image is closer to us, so it will appear bigger one. Now, types of telescope. So we have two types. One is refracting telescope, other is reflecting telescope. Refracting telescope basically use lenses to view distant objects. And now refracting telescopes are of two types. One is astronomical telescope, other is terrestrial telescope. What is astronomical telescope? So it is used to see astronomical bodies like moon, stars, planet, etc. The final image formed is inverted, which does not matter because they are round shape. As you know, in telescope, the final image is inverted, but all the heavenly bodies, the astronomical bodies, they are round in shape. So when the image is inverted, it doesn't make a difference. Now for terrestrial telescope, this telescope is used to view distant objects on Earth only. In this, the final image is erected, means it is not inverted, it is erected. Now let us move ahead. Reflecting telescope. What is the reflecting telescope? It makes use of converging mirrors, concave mirrors, to view the distant objects. Now, refracting type astronomical telescope. It is used to view heavenly bodies like stars, planets, satellites, etc. as I have told you. Construction. Listen to me first of all carefully, then after I'll provide the notes. In telescope, what happens? Two lenses are there. They are mounted on a two in the end of two sliding tubes. The axis of the lenses should be one only. The axis of the lenses should be one, means the lenses are placed coaxially. One lens is called objective, other lens is called eyepiece. So it consists of two convex lenses mounted coaxially at the outer ends of two sliding tubes. The two lenses are called objective and eyepiece. Now about objective. Objective is a lens of greater focal length, means larger focal length, having a very large aperture. Why we take larger aperture of objective? So that it collect more amount of light to form the image. Since the object is very distant from us, so objective is taken a larger aperture so that it collects more light and forms the image, and image becomes brighter. So because objective is a convex lens of large focal length and much larger aperture, it is taken of larger aperture so that it gathers sufficient light from the object to be viewed. Next thing is eyepiece. Eyepiece is a convex lens of a small focal length and small aperture. Eyepiece is a convex lens of a small focal length and small aperture. Okay. Now let us move ahead. We are going to do case 1. Case 1 is when the final image is formed at the least distance of distinct vision. So for this, let us understand the ray diagram. This is the ray diagram. Since the object is at infinity now, the rays will come parallel to each other when they falls on the lens, that is our objective. So whenever an object is at infinity, then the image formed will be at its focus only. Okay, the image formed will be at its focus. Then what happens? Now the focus. Now what happens? The distance between the eyepiece and the objective is so adjusted that this image falls between the focus of the eyepiece and optical center of the eyepiece. So what happens? Now this image will serve as an object for the eyepiece. Let me show you also. These are the rays which comes from the infinite. They makes an image at FO. FO is focus of objective. Now this image will serve as an object for eyepiece, and this image falls between the focus of the eyepiece and optical center of the eyepiece. So now this image is there between focus and the optical center. So one ray parallel to the principal axis goes along the focus, another ray through the optical center. When we extend them behind, we get an image, and that image is B double dash A double dash. Okay, so we get an image, and that image is B double dash A double dash, and this image is at least distance of distinct vision, that is your capital D. It is shown there. The distance of the image formed by the objective from the eyepiece, it is considered as UE. Okay, so what is its working? Working is, first of all, the lens is the tube is so adjusted so that maximum light from the object enters the telescope. Objective forms an image between focus and the optical center of the eyepiece. This image serves as an object for the eyepiece, and eyepiece forms an image which is at capital D. So this is how this this telescope works. So for working, since the object is at infinity, therefore a parallel beam of light fall on the objective. The objective forms image at its focus. This image is inverted and real. The distance between the objective and the eyepiece is so adjusted that the image formed by the objective is between focus and the optical center. This image serves as an object for the eyepiece. The eyepiece magnifies the image, and the final image is formed at the least distance of distinct vision. Okay, now we define magnifying power. What is magnifying power in this case? The magnifying power of astronomical telescope, as you all know, it is defined as the angle subtended by the image to the angle subtended by the object, visual angle subtended by the image to the visual angle subtended by the object. But this time the object is at infinity. This time the object is at infinity. So we'll say that magnifying power of astronomical telescope is defined as the ratio of visual angle subtended by the image formed at the least distance of distinct vision to the visual angle subtended by the object at infinity. So as you can see, the ray which comes from infinity, it makes an angle of alpha with the principal axis. So when we put our eyes over here, then what happens? This ray makes an alpha. So alpha will serve as our angle subtended by the object. That is a visual angle subtended by the object. Image b double dash a double dash makes an angle beta. So what we should write? We should write that m is equal to visual angle subtended by the image at capital D to the visual angle subtended by the object at infinity. M is equal to beta upon alpha, which is approximately equal to tan beta upon tan alpha. It is the old song which we are singing from so many days. Since angles are very small, so that therefore they can be replaced. Not tan beta. Now tan beta is, we can write in two triangles. One is this one, E B dash A dash, the smaller one, as you can see. One is the larger one, E B double dash A double dash. In these two triangles, beta angle is formed. In these two triangles, beta angle is formed. Okay. So now I'm going to take the smaller one. So we are going to take this triangle, B dash, A dash and E. Then this tan beta is equal to B dash, A dash upon EB dash. B dash, A dash upon EB dash. Okay. Now tan alpha, if this angle is alpha, then this angle is also alpha because of vertically opposite angle. Now in this triangle, B dash, A dash, O. B dash, A dash, O. In this triangle, tan alpha is equal to B dash, A dash upon O B dash. B dash, O dash upon O B dash. Now B dash, A dash is equal to minus H dash, we supposed. EB dash works as object distance, so UE, it is minus because we are moving leftward, upon B dash, A dash minus H dash, it will be OB dash. OB dash is the focal length for the objective. So it will be FO. Since it is right side of the lens, so it is considered positive. Now H dash is written together. In bracket we are going to have FO upon minus UE. H dash will be cancelled out. So the value of M is going to be FO upon minus UE. Let this be question number 1. Okay. Now we are going to calculate the value of 1 upon UE from the lens formula. So from lens formula is 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon v minus 1 upon u. We are going to put this formula for the eyepiece. So 1 upon fe will be equal to 1 upon minus d, since image distance is d only, minus 1 upon minus v. Minus 1 upon d is transferred to this side, and minus and minus will become plus. So 1 upon ue will be equal to 1 upon fe plus 1 upon d. This value will put in equation number 1. Let this be equation number 2. From 1 and 2 we are going to have capital M is equal to f upon minus v. 1 upon u is replaced by, in bracket, 1 upon fe plus 1 upon d. If you take fe as common, so it is going to be m is equal to minus fo upon fe, in bracket 1 plus fe upon d. This is the final formula for the magnifying power of the telescope when the final image is at capital D. Okay. Now let us do the case number 2. Case 2, when the final image is formed at infinity. Okay, let us understand the ray diagram first of all. So this is what the ray diagram looks like. Now this time the distance between objective and the eyepiece is so adjusted that the image formed by the objective, which is B dash A dash, is at the focus of the eyepiece. And now the image is at focus of the eyepiece. This image serves as an object for the eyepiece. Therefore, the final image is formed at infinity, because whenever an object is there on the focus of any lens, the lens forms the image at infinity. The image will be formed at infinity. It will be real, it will be inverted. But this time we are going to have only one triangle in which beta angle is there. What is beta angle? Beta angle is the angle subtended by the image at our eye What is alpha? Alpha is the angle subtended by the object at our eye. So we define magnifying power in this case. So magnifying power will be equal to, it is the ratio of visual angle subtended by the image, which is beta, at infinity to the visual angle subtended by the object placed at infinity. Okay. So now m will be given by, m is equal to visual angle subtended by the image at infinity to the visual angle subtended by the object at infinity. M is equal to beta upon alpha, which is approximately equal to tan beta upon tan alpha. Tan beta is written in this triangle. Which triangle? Just see, E B dash A dash, this one. So what we are going to write, B dash E dash upon EB dash, B dash A dash upon EB dash, and tan alpha is written in this triangle. Already I have told you, if this angle is alpha, then this angle is also alpha because of vertically opposite angle. So it will be B dash A dash upon OB dash. Now what happens? B dash A dash is replaced by minus H dash, and EB dash is replaced by minus FE, whole upon B dash A dash is replaced by minus H dash, and OB dash is replaced by FO. If we write H dash together, to minus H dash upon minus H dash in bracket FO upon FE. H dash will be cancelled out, and magnifying power we are going to have M is equal to minus FO upon FE. This will be our formula for magnifying power when the image is formed at infinity. This case is also asked for normal adjustment or relaxed condition of eye. Okay, so you have to be very careful while writing this one, while writing the answer, because you have to see which case is being asked in the board examination, whether the final image is at capital D or the final image is at infinity. The question is not in the name of the final image is formed at infinity, it will be in the name of normal adjustment or relaxed condition for eye. Okay. One more thing, if you notice, this time the separation between the lenses, from here till here it is equal to FO, from here till here it is FE. The separation between the lenses, which is the length of the tube, is given by FO plus FE. What I am saying? I am saying that when the final image is formed at capital D, then the separation, it should be infinity, it should not be capital D. When the final image is formed at capital, so it should be infinity. At infinity, the separation between the objective and the eyepiece is equal to the length of the focal length of the telescope, or between the objective and the eyepiece is equal to length of the telescope or length of the tube. Hence, capital L is equal to FO upon FE. I hope it is clear. It should not be capital D, it should be infinity. Please make it correct. Okay. Now let us move ahead. Now the next topic is terrestrial telescope. Although it is not there in your syllabus, but since it is one type of telescope, so for your knowledge purpose I am telling you. In terrestrial telescope, everything is same. Only what happens, one additional lens is there. As you can see, this lens is additional. Now 3 lenses we are going to have, and this lens is called erecting lens. Now what happens, this image, this position of this lens is so adjusted so that this image forms at 2f for this lens. So now whenever an object is at 2f, its final image made by the lens, formed by the lens, is also at 2f. It is inverted. So since this image is inverted, so it makes an image which is erected. It is of same size. Now this image is at focus of the eyepiece. So what happens? This eyepiece makes an image at infinity. Okay. So this, what it does, it makes the image erected. Why it is done so? Because it is used to view buildings, or in hilly area it is used to see the view, and if view appears inverted, then there is no meaning of that. So what happens? We use a erected lens, and it effectively increases its length also. So the important points related to this is, it consists of 3 converging lenses: objective, eye lens, and erecting lens. The final image is virtual, erected, and smaller. Magnification, FO upon FE, 1 plus FE upon D, or M infinity FO upon FE. It is actually the same formula which we have studied. Okay, there is no change, only the minus sign is not there. Earlier minus sign was there to tell the to indicate that the final image is inverted, but this time the final image is erected, so minus sign is not there. MD is equal to MD is when the final image is at capital D, FO upon FE 1 plus FE upon D, or M infinity is when the final image is at infinity, so M infinity is equal to FO upon FE. Length of the tube, if the final image is at capital D, so FO, that is focal length, plus 4F, that is your 2F plus 2F plus UE. Okay, and when the final image is at infinity, then it is FO, focal length of objective, plus 4F plus FE. It is not there in your syllabus. Okay, only for the knowledge purpose I was telling. Now let us move. The next topic is Newtonian reflecting telescope. What is a Newtonian reflecting telescope? This is how it looks like. What we do, we make a tube. This is your tube. This is your tube. At the end of the tube, we put a concave mirror. It is of very large aperture and large focal length. Okay. We put an inclined mirror at the axis of the concave mirror. It makes an angle of 45 degree with the axis of the concave mirror. And we put an eyepiece. Okay. We put an eyepiece. Is it clear? Now what happens from infinity when the rays will come? The rays are coming parallel to the principal axis. They must be converging at the focus because of converging nature of the plane mirror. Okay, but what happens? This ray, before converging at the focus, this ray falls on the plane mirror, and plane mirror makes its image nearby the eyepiece. Eyepiece is so adjusted so that when the ray goes through the eyepiece, it becomes parallel to the principal axis of eyepiece. So now what happens? The final image is found at infinity somewhere this side. Okay, so this image is viewed from here. So this is what the Newtonian reflecting telescope is here. The difference is in this objective is a concave mirror. It is not lens. The working will be given as the first reflecting telescope was developed by Newton. As shown in the figure, a beam of parallel light from a distant object incident on the objective before the rays are focused at capital F. A plane mirror inclined at 45 degree intercepts them and turns them towards the eyepiece adjusted perpendicular to the axis of instrument. Eyepiece forms a virtual erected and magnified image. Okay, so this is what Newtonian reflecting telescope. Its ray diagram is very important. It is asked in the board examination. Next type is Cassegrain reflecting telescope. Now how does this look like? So this is like this. Now what happens? What is the difference? In place of plane mirror, now we have used a convex mirror, and there is a hole in the concave mirror, and behind that hole the eyepiece is placed. Okay, so how does it work? From infinity, ray comes, they falls on the concave mirror, they reflected back at the focus, but before they converge at focus, one convex mirror is so placed so that this convex mirror forms an image just outside the hole, and this image serves as an object for the eyepiece, and eyepiece forms an image which is virtual, erected and larger. So working will be given as the parallel rays from a distant object reflected by a large concave mirror. Before these rays comes to focus at F, they are reflected by a small convex mirror and are converged to a point I just outside the hole. This image is viewed through the eyepiece. Now sometimes magnifying power of reflecting telescope is asked in the board examination. So how will you write magnifying power of reflecting telescope? The magnifying power of reflecting telescope is given by when the final image is at capital D, m is equal to FO upon FE 1 plus FE upon D. As you can see, this formula is the same which we have studied in the for the refracting telescope. But what is the difference here? Here that FO represents what? FO represents focal length of objective, and this time it is a concave mirror. So it will when we put this, so it will be negative. We'll put according to the sign convention. Fe is the focal length of the eyepiece. 1 plus Fe upon D. So we'll put the values according to the sign convention, where FO and Fe are the focal length of objective and the eyepiece. And suppose if the final image is at infinity, then when the magnifying power of reflecting telescope is given by when the final image is at infinity, M is equal to FO upon Fe. That formula we have studied. FO represents focal length of the objective and Fe represents focal length of eyepiece. Okay, so this is what the reflecting telescope is. No derivation is there. Okay, only direct formula we have to write. Now we have two types of telescope, reflecting telescopes and refracting telescopes. So which is better? So advantages of reflecting telescope over refracting telescope. The reflecting telescope is preferred over refracting telescope. There are several reasons. Now let us discuss some. The first one is the final image formed by the reflecting telescope is very bright because there is no absorption of energy by the objective. Now what happens whenever a ray of light or whenever light goes through a medium, there is a selective absorption, there is absorption of the energy in the medium. So when a light goes through the convex lens, what happens? There is some absorption of energy, and because of it, what happens? The final image is not that bright as bright it is in the case of reflecting telescope. Reflecting telescope uses mirror, and in mirrors no absorption of energy is there, and therefore the final image is very bright as compared to the image formed in the refracting telescope. Second point is due to large aperture, the reflecting telescope is of higher resolving power. What is resolving power? Resolving power is the ability of the optical instrument to enable us to view two objects which are two objects distinctly separated in where actually the objects are very close to each other. Suppose 2 points objects are there, they are very close to each other. When we by a convex lens, if we are able to see them distinctly separated by a distance, then we said that the resolving power of that convex lens is high. Okay, then in the same manner, the resolving power is related to the distance between the two objects. Actually, it is inversely proportional to that distance. As much as the close distances, resolving power will be high. Resolving power is also there in the next chapter. We'll discuss the next chapter. It will be told in a very detailed manner. Next is it costs less to produce mirrors. Now what happens when we produce lenses, when we manufacture lenses? So we have to polish the lenses, we have to grind the lenses from both the sides. But in mirrors, what happens? We have to polish the mirror, we have to grind the mirror only from one side. The other side has to be polished. Okay, so to produce mirrors, it is more cheaper, it is cheap. Therefore, the reflecting telescope, manufacturing of reflecting telescope cost is very less. The construction of reflecting telescope is very easy. What does it mean? It means that suppose if you have to hold a lens, so its edges are very thin. I'm especially talking about concave or convex lenses because convex lenses are there in the refracting telescope. To hold the lenses, we have to take very care because the edges are very thin, they may break out. So what we do, and to hold a concave mirror, it is not like that. It can be of very thick, and the holder of concave mirror can hold the concave mirror very easily. So the construction of reflecting telescope is very easy. Moreover, some more differences are there. One is spherical aberration. One is chromatic aberration. What is a spherical aberration? If you remember in the very beginning, I have told you that rays which are considered in geometrical optics, they are parallel, they are very close to the principal axis. The other rays which are far away from the principal axis, they are called marginal rays. What happens for a concave mirror or convex mirror? Marginal rays got focused on the principal axis at some other point, then focus means they do not focus, they do not converge at the focus, they have a different point as focus. It is because of the spherical surface of the concave mirror. So what we do, we replace concave mirror we replace concave mirror with the parabolic mirror. Parabolic mirror has only one focus. Then what happens in the reflecting telescope? We use parabolic mirrors instead of concave spherical mirrors. So we in that manner uh, decrease we decrease the spherical aberration. And what is chromatic aberration? I have told you different color light focus at different points. So now what we do, we do instead of lenses we use mirror doesn't have to do anything with the wavelength of the light. All the wavelength will be converging at a single point. So in the mirror, chromatic aberration is not there. That's why this telescope is very much preferred. So this is what your chapter is. Theoretically we have concluded the chapter. Numerically it is left. Let us see in next 2 or 3 lectures, we are going to discuss some important numericals of the NCERT. Now, home assignment for you. The first question is, why astronomical telescope has objective of larger aperture? I have told in the beginning. If you have listened to me very carefully, you will be able to answer. Second is, a Cassegrain telescope uses two mirrors. Such a telescope is built with a mirror of 20 mm apart. If the radius of curvature of large mirror is 220 mm and the small mirror is 140 mm, where will be the final image of an object at infinity B? This question is from NCERT. Next question is, a small telescope has an objective lens of focal length 140 cm and eyepiece of focal length 5 cm. What is the magnifying power of the telescope to view distant object when the telescope is at normal adjustment? That is when the final image is at infinity. The final image is formed at the least distance of distant vision. Okay, this question is put the value, get the result type. Simple formula. In the formula you have to put the value, you have to get the result. Question number 4 is, a small telescope has an objective lens of focal length 144 cm and an eyepiece of focal length 6 cm. What is the magnifying power of the telescope? What is the separation between the objective and the eyepiece? Again, FO is given, FE is given. You have to tell the magnifying power and you have to tell the separation between the objective and the eyepiece. Last question, fifth is, a giant refracting telescope at an observatory has an objective lens of focal length 15 meter. If an eyepiece of focal length 1 cm is used, what is the angular magnification of the telescope? Second part of the question is, the telescope is used to view the moon. What is the diameter of the image of the moon formed by the objective lens? The diameter of the moon is 3.48 into 10 to the power 6 meter and the radius of the lunar orbit, that is in the orbit in which the moon revolves the earth, 3.8 into 10 to the power 8 meter. I hope you are doing the questions. Okay, this is what all for today. In the next video lecture we are going to do NCERT numericals. Thank you.